Konrad Styner, Doctor of Medicine. Tonight's story has the title, Candle of Hope.
Guardian of birth, healer of the sick, comforter of the aged. And the qualities of the worthy physician are three: the eye of an eagle, the heart of a lion, the hand of a woman.
Our actual case history tonight concerns the field of reproduction. The object in point, the eyepiece of a microscope. The case in point, Nicholas Panagakis, age 45, citrus farmer. Since the day he arrived in this country at the age of 14, Nick had worked the soil. A hard worker, a devout man, he prospered. Finally, at the age of 45, he made his happiness complete. In his faith, the Greek Orthodox Church, Nick married. Moving through the age-old ritual, he took upon himself more present happiness than he had ever known, and a promise of even greater happiness in the future. But sometimes the future is a long time coming.
Εις το όνομα του Πατρός και του Υιού και του Αγίου Πνεύματος. Κύριε ο Θεός ημών, δόξη και τιμή στεφάνωσαν αυτούς. Ότι ευλογητέ σου το όνομα και δε δοξαστέ σου η βασιλεία του Πατρός και του Υιού και του Αγίου Πνεύματος, νυν και αεί και εις τους αιώνας των αιώνων. Ισαΐα χόρευε η Παρθένος, εσχένεν γαστρέ, και τεκενιόν τον Εμμανουήλ, Θεόν τε και ανθρώπων Ανατολή.
So come, Nicky, one more glass of Retsina. To you, Nicky, best orange grower in the whole valley, best friend, best boss to me, and to your fine wife, Chrysula. And to your first son.
To Nicholas Panagakis, Jr.
See! Me pa pucha lastica, Lara signora, me pa pucha lastica, Lara for Nicky Jr. for the patica.
God grant it, Nicholas.
Little Mother of God, I never asked for very much, only to work. But I beg now, little mother, beg for a son. Chrysula, she is a good woman, a kind heart. I give to the orphans. I beg, little Mother of God, a son. At Easter, at the time of the spring harvest. Παρακαλώ, Παναγία. Άγιος ο Θεός, Άγιος ο Υιός, Άγιος ο Θάνατος, Άγιος ο Θεός, Άγιος ο Θεός, Άγιος ο Θεός, Άγιος ο Θεός.
worry, Chrysula. Everybody will understand.
I'm so ashamed, Vardis. The women looking at me. When the priest lighted the great candle in the church, and all the men ran forward with their small candles to catch the first flame, I kept saying to myself, fall, Nicky, trip. Don't be the first to light your hopes. This will not be a happy Easter for us. Nicky gets to the holy flame first and lights his candle. Did you see the look on his face? Everybody saw. Everybody in the church saw.
We all know how very much he wanted a son by Easter. But if it cannot be...
Look, Vardis. The flame I got from the priest's candle in the church. It is still burning. Chris, something for the candle. Thank your nice wife for driving, Vardis. I had to guard the flame. Ah. This is the part of Easter I like the best, Vardis. The priest lighting the great candle, and we carry home hope and guard the flame. Vardis, never mind.
Your heart is breaking.
And if there was no hope, me too. My heart will break too.
Nick, I owe you so much. My house, my happiness, Nick. You will forgive a friend who speaks out of his heart.
I know. There is no hope. We have waited almost a year. Chrysula cannot have a son or any child.
Maybe, Nick, maybe not a son of your own, but you could see Mr. Ames at the orphan's home.
Another man's son? No.
Think about it, Nicholas. It will save much sorrow in this house. Much sorrow.
I'm sorry I got angry.
Why not? You got a lot to be angry about. My own mother, my father, every month they come here, always crying that I've disgraced them.
Please, Chris, no more. For 10 months now, we talk about it and talk about it. Enough!
It's a sad thing, Nick, not to marry from love.
I love you, sure.
Everybody knows why you married. A son. A son to carry your name. A son to get this house, the orchards, everything you worked for. Everybody knows. And I've heard sometimes the workers whisper about me.
Who? What workers talk about you?
What they say is true. I'm sorry, Nicky. I'm so sorry.
It's not your fault. Lots of women...
Kiss me. Please kiss me. Make me feel like a woman again.
Hello, operator. Please ring for me the number of Mr. Frank Ames in town. The orphan house.
But you don't adopt a little baby just for the asking, Nick.
Every year I give lots of money to this place. I want a son, Frank. I got money, I can raise a son.
Sure. Those little kids, Nick, they're like my sons. And before we can let any of them go out of here, we must be very careful.
Look, Frank,
I came here to buy a son from you. Why do I gotta wait?
They're not for sale, Nick.
What do you mean?
You said buy a son. It just doesn't work that way, Nick. A life just like one of those. Every one of those little kids deserves to be loved for himself, not as a substitute.
A month, Frank. You know what's going to happen. Chris and me, we're going to go crazy.
You haven't been married very long, Nick. I've known people who have gone much longer before they had their first baby.
It's no good in my house, Frank. I look at Chris and I can't help it. Only anger comes out now.
Look, Nick, many adoption agencies don't like people to take children while they're being treated by a doctor. Now, if your doctor would sign a statement saying he thinks you can't have a child of your own...
I don't
then...
go to any doctor. What's a doctor got to do about it?
But, Nick, you mustn't just assume you can't have a baby. Now, I know 2 or 3 doctors who are very interested in this field, in the city.
Doctor? What's a doctor going to do?
Find out what's wrong?
You think so?
Nick, these doctors see hundreds of people with your problem every year. And quite a few of them have been helped, too.
Well, maybe. Maybe.
In a problem like infertility, it is often impossible to assign responsibility to any one factor. There are, generally speaking, a number of basic steps in the determination of a couple's fertility. The father must be capable of producing in the male glands a sufficient number of active, life-giving cells, called spermatozoa, cells to be implanted normally and safely in the mother at the optimum time. For the mother, the basic considerations are that her ovaries are capable of extruding or passing off an ovum at regular intervals. There must be no obstruction to the union of the spermatozoa and the ovum. Further, the secretions of the mother's cervix must not be hostile to the spermatozoa.
The doctor says you go in now.
In any single act of conception, the father's body emits approximately 300 million spermatozoa. Over 2/3 of these are normal and active. Only one will actually fertilize the ovum. With a drastic drop in this number, the chances of fertilizing the ovum become lower. In many cases, the numbers fall so low that the chances become prohibitive. It is important in all cases of infertility that an exhaustive history be gotten from both the husband and wife and complete medical examinations be given to both.
Doctor made it. The questions, the answers. This morning you asked them, this afternoon you asked them. You have made the test already, so why do we got to have the questions? All I want to know is, what is wrong with my wife?
Well, no one can form an accurate opinion after only one examination, Mr. Panagakis.
We have come from far out of the city, doctor, to see you. We have been here all morning.
Well, I explained to you on the phone that a complete picture, a clear picture, could only be obtained after a number of visits. I suggested that you both stay on in the city, at least a couple of weeks.
Yeah, we got the hotel room, but it takes so long to find out what is wrong with Risula.
Well, up to this point, I have found nothing wrong with Mrs. Panagakis.
Then how come we cannot have the baby?
I said I have found nothing wrong with Mrs. Panagakis.
Me?
Well, now, I can't be certain until we repeat the test 2 or 3 more times.
No. I don't believe it. What's wrong? What's the matter with me?
Now, please don't jump at conclusions. But I must tell you this, that in almost half the cases of childless marriage, the difficulty is with the man.
What's the matter? What's wrong with me?
There seems to be a deficiency in the function of your sperm-producing cells. As yet, I just can't tell you the cause.
Don't touch me!
We've only made one test. There are many temporary factors that could affect it. Now, if we could repeat the test in a week or so, we'd be more certain, one way or the other.
No.
I beg of you, for your own sake, don't jump at conclusions.
See you back at the hotel.
One of the great problems of infertility in the male is the attendant emotional upset. It cannot be emphasized too strongly that sterility or subfertility generally has no bearing whatsoever on a man's virility.
Want to see my kid's picture? Look at the girls. Some youngsters, What's his name? No. Jeffrey. What's the matter? It's my kid. Come on, look.
Another drink, sir?
The oldest boy, 12 years old. Big one, ain't he? Nobody can turn his back on my kid. Come on, look.
Hey, look at
Hey, where do you get off? Knocking the...
I'm more man than you. More man than them.
Pick it up.
Pick him up yourself.
I said pick it up.
Okay. Okay. Get back there. Go on, get back. Get out of here.
Oh, it's eating him, Jerry.
Hates kids, I guess.
Turn out the light.
Your face. What happened? What happened?
I'm not a man. Go away, go away, away.
This afternoon, after you left the office, Dr. Maynard and I had a long talk. I told him what a son means to you. I told him what you mean to me. I know why you married. Only for a son. But ever since I was a young girl, you were somebody. I don't know, somebody like... I loved you then. I love you now.
I'm not a man. Go away, go away.
No. No, Nick. One thing I always prayed for. To be the mother of your son. There will be a son. There will be your son, I know it. The doctor will help us. The doctor will help us, Nick.
Now, this is a normal specimen that I brought in from the laboratory for you to see. And you'll notice on the slide there are large numbers of spermatozoa. Approximately 100 million per cubic centimeter. Excuse me, please. Now, in today's examination, which is the best we've had so far, the spermatozoa count was much lower. It was very much lower. Now, in here, you will see approximately 3 million per cubic centimeter. And their motion is very poor.
3 million. But if it only takes one.
Well, we still don't know why so many have to be produced for only one to fertilize the ovum, Mr. Panagakis.
There is no hope.
I want to emphasize that there is always hope. Husbands with counts even lower than yours have become fathers. But you're not a couple of youngsters, so I don't want you to raise your hopes too high.
But you're a doctor. You can do something.
Well, when a specimen is as poor as this, it generally means that there's something seriously wrong with your sperm-producing cells.
I'll do anything, doctor. Anything. This way there is so little hope. It may be something, a little more chance. I take it. What else can I do?
Well, there's several methods. Now, the one I have in mind for you is still in the stage of research. Many doctors don't think it works at all. But I've been a little encouraged by a recent study which reveals about 18% successful results in carefully selected cases.
Tell me, doctor, tell me.
It requires giving you medication which will prevent you from producing any spermatozoa at all for perhaps a few months. And then after this rest period, we can only hope that they will be produced in greater numbers than before.
How long a time?
Maybe a year, maybe even 2. We begin by giving you medication for perhaps 3 months until there's no sign at all of spermatozoa. Then there's no further medication. We just wait. Before you decide, I must impress upon you once again. Now you are only subfertile. With the treatment, you will become completely sterile for a period of time. And we can't say for certain that after this rest period, spermatozoa will return at all. You may remain completely sterile.
Doctor, we want a son more than anything else in this life. What would you do, please?
Well, we'll have to take a biopsy of your glands first. And if the tissues indicate that you have the type of pathology more likely to respond, yes, it's probably worth trying, even if the odds are against its working.
Okay, Doctor. We try it. Anything you say.
Hello, Nicholas.
Good morning, Radish. What's the trouble?
It's the new workers. No good. I keep telling you, if we are going to have a good spring harvest, we got to get better men.
We'll talk about it tomorrow, after the Easter service.
We talk about it now, Nicky. These are only
Kids almost working now. They don't know. The frost is this morning.
Maida, we'll talk about it later. I gotta go into the city to see the doctor.
Again?
Yes.
But a year now, Nicholas.
The doctor says it's going to take 2 years.
Forgive me, but we are friends.
Yes.
For a whole year, many times, you go in the city to see this doctor. I talked to Mr. Frank Ames, Nick.
Oh?
He said maybe now you come back to see him again. Take a boy now, Nick, from the orphan place. Your mind is no good now, Nick. You don't think of the crop so much anymore. It's no good, Nicky. Forgive me, I'm your friend.
Yeah, sure. Sure, maybe you're right. I don't know. Such a long time.
See Mr. Frank Ames, Nicholas.
Yeah, Monday. Monday, the day after tomorrow, I go see him. But I got the appointment for today, this afternoon. Dr. Maynard, he is a nice guy. I go talk one more time with him.
Monday, I come to Mr. Frank Ames with you and Chrysula. Pick out a fine boy.
Yeah, sure. And after church tomorrow, we talk about the workers.
Nicholas.
I thought you were asleep, Chrysula.
You going to town? To the city?
Yes.
I want to go too.
Sure, come on. We'll have a nice ride. Maybe in the city after I see the doctor, we'll buy you a new dress for Easter, huh?
Nicholas, I want to see Dr. Maynard.
Why?
He said if even a little hope should begin to happen. Oh, Nicky.
Chris?
Don't say it. It's only maybe. But Nicky. Nicholas.
Oh, my wife. My wife. Come. We'll go.
It's only a hope. Maybe it's nothing, but...
Sure, Chrysula. Sure.
The treatment used in the case of Nick Panagakis, testosterone rebound therapy, has recently been called a miracle cure for male sterility. It is no such thing. In a problem as complex with as many causes as sterility, a single miracle cure cannot be expected. Testosterone rebound therapy is highly experimental, and despite exaggerated claims, no more than 18% of carefully selected cases have responded to it favorably. In perhaps a majority of the cases of sterility, the problem is subfertility in one or both of the married partners. In such cases, an improvement in the potential of one or both of the partners often results in pregnancy. Many times, under the advice of a doctor, freedom from physical and emotional fatigue is apparently all that's needed. At times, various hormone injections prove effective. And above all, hope is a potent medicine. And there's good reason to be hopeful. Although treatment for sterility is complex and drawn out over a long period of time, approximately 35% of all cases of sterility are curable.